Hello, my name is Elliot Glenn. This is my producer's podcast for advanced session recording. Just to give a little bit of information about myself, I am a recording arts bachelor student. I do plan on graduating in 2 months. I came to Full Sail to be trained for audio engineering, and that is my aspiration after I graduate. I would like to be a successful and good audio engineer in the music business. My idea of a producer is not only someone that can make sure the project starts and finishes like it should, not only make sure the project is successful, but also is someone that can work with the artist and push them to their limit in a way that they can have the best possible product. I also feel a producer should know at least a little bit about music and also know a little bit about engineering. I don't see how a producer could ever fully communicate with, musicians and artists and or engineers without at least knowing a little bit about what they do. Someone I feel can do this very well is Butch Vig. Butch Vig has been producing for years. He was producing back in the 70s, but his big breakout production was by far Nirvana with Nevermind, and I was fortunate enough to be able to find some videos on the production of Nevermind where Butch talked about recording a lot of the songs, and I was just blown away with just some of the things he said he had to do to get things done. My favorite by far is how he got Kurt Cobain to double track, which Kurt was very much against. He would simply tell him that John Lennon did it, and then Kurt would do it. And Kurt Cobain was a very big John Lennon fan. That's something a producer has to be able to do, has to be able to find ways to work around the egos or, an artist maybe not wanting to do something, but the producer knows it has to be done. I just admire that about Butch Vig. I remember the first time I heard In Bloom by Nirvana, and I wasn't really into rock music back then. I didn't even know what the purpose of the song was. I didn't know when it was recorded. I didn't know how old it was, but I was blown away by how good it sounded. I was just like, this sounds awesome. How did they do that? I didn't know anything about music production back then. I didn't even want to be an engineer. I was going to school for chemistry. And I found out that Butch Vig, he's really into the double tracking and just beefing things up, and that's something over my, new career into music production and things like that. I really like double tracking things and beefing them up because it gives it a sound that is just you can't match. I don't think it's overproducing anything. I think it's just giving things that by themselves have power, and you're just putting the icing on the cake by double tracking them. I really like Butch Vig's use of double tracking. My favorite production by Butch Vig by far is his work with the Foo Fighters on the Wasting Light album. That is the album that made me aware of who Butch Vig was and just some of his work. And once again, luckily they came out with a DVD that happened to document a lot of the making of their past album. And of course Butch Vig was there, and you could just kind of see some of the work he was doing. What I got a lot out of that particular documentary is that Butch was able to stay on task, because artists can have a tendency to get off task. They might start having a little too much fun, and he was always just kind of reminding them, let's get back to work and things like that. Or maybe 5-minute break, 20-minute break, making it known that hey, in this time frame we need to get back to work. I think that's a very good quality for a producer to have, because time is money in this business, and time not spent getting work done is money lost. And I really like that about him. Plus, just if you haven't heard that album, the sound of it, it is amazing. It blows me away how good that album sounds, and the fact that it was tracked to analog tape in Dave's garage, it blows me away even more. I remember the first time I heard that album, I was just blown away. I was like, albums can still sound as good today, and that's from then on. When I found out Butch Vig produced that album, I instantly became a big fan of him. I would love to meet him and work with him someday. That would be a great moment in my life, to meet and work with Butch Vig.